Hi, I'm Dr. Yuval Bibi. I'm a board-certified dermatologist. Now let's talk about what not to do when you have acne. There are these things that people do almost instinctively in their attempt to clear their acne that can be deeply damaging to the skin and actually undermine their attempts to clear the acne, making them tolerate medications less well, maybe even making the acne they're already experiencing worse. And I'm going to talk to you about what these things are, why they're bad for you, and how to avoid them. So the first practice that is extremely common in people who have acne is using hot water on the face, sometimes on other areas of the body. And the underlying assumption under using hot water is that acne is in some way a hygiene issue, meaning the skin needs to be somehow purified or cleansed. And when you use hot water, and by hot water I mean piping hot water above 104 degrees Fahrenheit, above 40 odd degrees Celsius or centigrade, these are pretty hot temperatures and they can scald the skin. They can make the skin much more sensitive. And sensitive skin is much less likely to tolerate topical medications that are used to treat many cases of acne. So using hot water on the skin may sound like a good idea, but ultimately what happens with using hot water is that you're getting very irritating conditions on the skin and you're not getting any benefit as far as treating the acne. So you're getting double whammied, as in creating irritation, not getting any benefit. And to add insult to injury, you're actually not going to be able to tolerate some of the medications that are used to treat acne, some of which are actually drying and irritating in their own right. So you're actually getting a triple whammy by using hot water. So try to avoid that. Use lukewarm water instead. Cold water is fine as well, but lukewarm water is a happy medium. Use the lukewarm water to wash from head to toe. Obviously wash the face and end up not getting the damage that is inflicted with using hot water on the skin with zero benefit to you or your acne. The second thing that everybody pretty much across the board does when they treat acne is cleanse. People again believe that acne is a hygiene issue, where in fact acne is not a hygiene issue. It's a highly complicated condition that stems from cell differentiation issues and inflammatory issues, and those usually don't have anything to do with hygiene. They have to do with a number of elements in the skin that come together in a perfect storm to make up the acne, and those elements need to be addressed with specific treatment. But cleansing, categorically, what cleansing does is abrade or undermine the skin barrier. The skin barrier is the oily layer that covers the surface of the skin and protects the skin from the outside elements and keeps the skin calm and in check. And experiencing a condition like acne, some of the times it's an inflammatory condition, already undermines the skin barrier. The skin barrier is already not working properly in many cases of acne, especially with cleansing added on board. And the cleansing simply gets rid of a lot of the elements of the skin barrier, undermines the skin barrier, and again makes it less likely for you to be able to tolerate medications which may be used to treat the acne and bring things under control. Now, cleansing by using any sort of detergent on the face is obviously categorically not beneficial. But then there are the medicated cleansers that contain benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid that do have some benefit in certain cases of acne. Even with the medicated cleansers, what most people fail to realize is that they're still abrading the surface of the skin. So if you're using a medicated cleanser, you need to realize that you may be getting a benefit to clear your acne or to treat your acne, but you're still creating damage to your skin barrier by default of using this cleanser. And that means that you need to compensate for using the cleanser and abrading the skin barrier, even when it's necessary to use it. And that means that you need to moisturize. So moisturization of the skin after having used a form of cleanser on the skin is something that I recommend, especially in people with dry, sensitive skin. If you have normal skin or oily skin, don't worry about it. You'll likely not need to moisturize. But if you do have dry, sensitive skin, if you have the mixed face, all of which is a problem that stems from skin care and over cleansing, then you definitely need to moisturize and consider maybe switching to a leave-on product rather than a wash or a cleanser, which creates damage to the skin barrier by default. So do not categorically treat your face with cleansing for acne. In fact, do your best to avoid it and use lukewarm water to wash instead. Another thing that you may be doing to treat your acne is scrubbing or exfoliating. Now, scrubbing and exfoliating is pretty popular nowadays, and again, the rationale is that you need to somehow get rid of elements that do not belong on the skin. Specifically, scrubbing and exfoliation are addressing so-called dead skin cells that must be aggressively washed off the skin and removed off the surface of the skin to make way for new skin cells to come in their place. What most people don't realize is that exfoliation or scrubbing are completely useless. They're actually quite abrasive and quite harmful to the skin, and they physically abrade the skin barrier. They physically undermine the skin barrier, and that can create for very, very inflammatory, very sensitive conditions on the surface of the skin. So the bottom line to exfoliation or to scrubbing is that you want to avoid them at all costs. They're not going to help you. They're not going to make your situation better, and they may in fact make acne on the surface of the skin worse off than they were by irritating them physically and not allowing them to go away and recover on their own and obviously respond to medications that you may be using on the skin. So scrubbing and exfoliation outright completely useless practices that are making your skin worse. And once again, just like hot water, just like cleansing with a detergent, these practices may and will make it less likely for you to tolerate medications that are actually out there to help you to clear your acne in a more sustainable and consistent manner. So avoid these at all costs. So pore strips are actually pretty popular as well, and you see a lot of TikTok and YouTube and Instagram videos about very satisfactory experiences of getting those oils and that gunk out of the pores and getting rid of those oil filaments, all these things that seem like a very good idea to remove and get rid of the surface of the skin. Now, pore strips are actually very similar to all the abrasive practices that we discussed up until this point, meaning they get rid of elements of the skin barrier. They do it aggressively. They do it indiscriminately. And while it may seem like a very good idea to remove these oils and remove all that gunk and pus and dirt and what have you off the surface of the skin, the pore strips ultimately will end up, despite the very satisfactory experience, will end up undermining the skin barrier and creating much more harm than good. So pore strips are best reserved for TikTok video influencers, and you want to avoid them at all costs in the quest to control your acne. Facials, once again, are very popular with people across the board. People just go to a cosmetologist or a friend or someone they know to get a facial. A lot of these facials are focused on getting, again, the gunk and the keratin out of those open pores or open comedones to clear that face up. Then what most people don't realize is that this is actually a highly abrasive and irritating practice to the skin. You're mechanically squeezing and abrading the skin and getting rid of a lot of elements that, some of them may not belong where they are, but certainly getting rid of other elements and throwing out the baby with the bathwater. So facials may seem like a great idea because you're getting all this personal attention. Things may look good once you're done with the facial, but there is no sustainable solution offered here. And what you may be getting is revving up towards the next inflammatory wave in your acne. So again, facials may be a feel-good technique to get done once or twice, but they're not a sustainable solution for acne. So they will once again get you maybe very short-lasting results, but will make it less likely for you to be able to tolerate medications which will control your acne sustainably. So my recommendation would be to best avoid the facials. Take it down a few notches and get to treating your acne with the proper approach that'll control the acne sustainably with the least amount of irritation, so you can actually show your face and not be irritated by anything that's happening on the surface of your skin. So there you have it. 5 things that sound absolutely spectacular and great, but are actually quite harmful to the skin in general and to treating your own case of acne specifically. Try to avoid these things at all costs and get to treating your acne intentionally in a way that's actually going to make it go away and keep it away. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to share and like this video. For more information about skincare scams, shenanigans, and tomfoolery, Pick up my book, Sick Skin, Skincare Made Simple on Amazon.com, now available in audio. Thanks for watching. God bless.